Hi there makers, it is Jo here from Minerva, and today I've got a learn to sew video for you. Today I'm going to show you how to revisit a skirt that is too small around the waist. Whether you've got a ready to wear skirt or a skirt that you've lovingly made and you can't get into it anymore but you want to keep the fabric, revisit it, make an alteration, today I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to use a ready to wear skirt that I've got that's too small around my waist, but I like everything else about it. So I just want to raise the skirt up and get some more waist room. Let's take a look at the original skirt. Okay, so this is my original skirt. It's a bought one. It's not lined or anything. It's a gentle A-line shape. Comes up to the waist, and the waistband has facings on the inside, and there's a zip at the side. I can no longer do the zip up here. I'm a little bit short, and if I do just squeeze it up, then this all starts to bunch up and ripple around here. It's also sitting really high, because if I try and pull it down to my actual waistline, then it's really tight across here. What I essentially want to do is lift this skirt up so that I get that wider piece of fabric and take off this spare at the top. So when you tried your skirt on, you need to mark where you would like your waistline to be. So my pin is my finished waistline, and then I'm going to add 1 centimetre seam allowance onto that. That's what I'm going to attach my facing back on with, and it's also going to be my cutting line. I'm going to take off the facing and this extra fabric. I can take quite a big amount off here. I can take this back 7 centimetres because I've got quite a lot of hip room here because of the gentle A-line shape. I'll need to remove the zip because I'll need to move that down, and I want to look for any other features that I might need to put back in for good fit. So on the back I have a couple of darts. I might need those, I might not need them. I'll need to do a second fit once I've cut off this and retried it, and I've checked that I've got this in my waistline position. Before I cut, I'm going to need to unpick the zip. I'm going to take this off so that I've got a clear space for cutting, and I can reposition this and use it again. Now that you've got the waist that you think you might need, you need to try it on again, because it might be that you need to add some darts. So I've still got my dart positions there if I want to put those back in. If you've got a skirt block that you've drafted for yourself, you could hold the skirt block up to this original size here and see if you need to change anything. I'm going to try it on again and see what the fit is like. After a fitting, I've replaced some darts here because I had a little bit of gaping at the back because I don't want a flat front and a flat back. I don't need any darts in the front, that's all sitting nicely. And this is the facing, but I can't put the facing back on because it's not long enough. So for example, this is the back facing, and it's not long enough from side seam to the back, because this is how much we've pinched. So we're going to have to think of something else to face the inside with. You can do a couple of things here. You can cut new facings from a different fabric. So you could use a little bit of white cotton here to make the inside facing, or you could add a piece of gross grain ribbon, flip it to the inside, and that will stabilize this cut edge that's slightly curved. I'm going to cut a couple of facings out of some white cotton because that will be folded to the inside and understitched. Okay, I've made the facing. It's interfaced so that it supports the waistline, and now we can put this onto the waist, matching up the side seams, and we should have enough to handle at the end. So here, when we come to put the zip back in, so we can pin this in place, but we can't sew it on just yet because we need to put the zip back in first so that we can finish the facing. If you've got a fabric that's got a particularly loose weave, you can put a piece of stay tape in here and that will support the waistline a little bit more. I've got quite a firm cotton lawn here with an interfacing, so I'm happy with that. I'm just testing for size and shape, and it matches back to the other end. Okay, next you need to put your invisible zip back into the side seam, and in order to do this you'll need to unpick a little bit of the side seam so that you've got room to put this back in at its full length. Make sure you've got all of the little threads out from your unpicking because they will hamper the zipper pull. You're going to put this back on as it was before. I left all the folds on it so that I could see where the turnover was. You can put this back in with an invisible zipper foot, or you can use an adjustable foot, whichever way you can get nice and close to those zipper teeth. If you want some help on how to put in an invisible zipper, you can check out our video here. It will give you much more detail. Once your zip is in, you can then complete the facing. So sew the facing all the way around the top. So you'll have a little bit of facing hanging over the edge. It's that little bit I've pre-pressed there so that it will fold over and we can hand sew it on the other side. So keep this one open and fold this one back. It's important now that you understitch this facing, so have the seam allowance touching the facing and sew on the facing side so that this side is one layer and this side is your 2 layers of seam allowance and your facing. This is what understitching does for you. It just makes sure that your facing is on the inside, and from the right side you only see the skirt, which is particularly important today because I've got a different coloured facing. All we've got left to do is to fold in the ends around the zip area. Tuck those in. You want them away from the teeth so they don't interfere with the zip. You can hand stitch that in place. Once that's all attached, it's finished. I put my skirt loops back inside as well for hanging up because I find those really useful. If you're finding that your facing is flapping out on the other side, you can also put a stitch in there. Okay, let's check the fit. Lots of lovely things are happening now. So now I can do a front tuck because I've got a little bit of space here. I can fit my thumb in to tuck my top. I'm not getting any drag lines across here at all. I can breathe, which is fantastic. The zip is back in the side, and actually when it's like this it looks like it fits me. It doesn't look like it's too tight. It's almost more slimming to be a little bit bigger than to be really tight and stretched with lots of drag lines. So I'm really pleased with that. This is the A-line shape, so I've absorbed some of that for the hips. You might need to test yours, put it on, lift it up and see if you've got enough room. Not all skirts will do it, but it's a good technique if you find that when you put your skirt on and you lift it up, it gives you a little bit more waist room. I've replaced the facings because obviously that facing diameter is of the original piece was shorter, so now it can't go on. And you'll need to do the same if you'll need to replace the waistband. What you can do is you can take the waistband off and replace it with a facing if you need to get a fabric match or you don't have any more fabric because it's a ready to wear garment. I put the darts back in the back. If you've got pockets, you'll need to deal with those as well. So there's an amount of unpicking per skirt. You can try this technique with lots of different skirt shapes. So you can definitely try it with an A-line, a long to ankle length A-line, or for a knee length. You can do it if there's a waistband. You can do it if there's facings. You can do it if there's a zip. There's going to have to be a little bit of unpicking. If you've got a waistband, it's going to be a little bit more because you're going to put that waistband back on or maybe cut another one. You might be able to creatively use the piece that you cut off, but essentially it's going to be smaller than the circumference that you need. It won't work so much with very straight skirts. If you've got a pencil skirt, if you can just lift up that hip room up to your waist and you've still got enough room for your hips, it can work there too. So it's a good idea to maybe try your skirt on first, lift it up and see if you can get that waist room whilst also considering the movability for the rest of your skirt. You're going to lose a bit of length as well, so you're lifting the skirt up. So check that you like the finished length once you've raised the skirt. I hope you have enjoyed today's video and it might get you out of a fix. It's such a shame when you've really lovingly made something or you've chose a really special fabric and then you just need to make an alteration to get it back into wardrobe rotation. Quite often these kind of garments just get sort of moved to the side and float back in time into history, but actually you can bring them back to life. Hope you have enjoyed that. We would love to see anything that you've been making, so do head over to Minerva and make a free account there. It's free to join our sewing community. You can make a profile, upload your photographs, give a little description and also take a look at our website. You're also welcome to join us over on our YouTube channel where there's lots and lots of video content. It's all free if you subscribe. There are sew-alongs, pattern drafting series, how to use your overlocker, little sewing techniques, new fabrics and pattern releases. It's all there for you to enjoy. Thank you very much for watching and we'll see you again soon.